I told you before that there was a time when we used to have just one computer where the internet was connected, and all the other computers were supposed to use that computer as a proxy server. For example, this computer has the internet connection, and all other computers are using this computer as the proxy server. Proxy server feels like that other computer also having internet connection. So proxy servers act as an intermediary between external and internal networks. But now we have gateways. Instead of proxy servers, we are now using gateways. Now gateway can be a computer or can be a router. A router, so remember, router has two ports. One is connected to ISP. This one is connected to internal network. So whatever the IP address you have on this port, this is the IP address given by the ISP. This is the IP address belongs to the internal network. So my computer is using this IP address as gateway. So now I don't need proxy. I will use gateway, and whenever I am making a request, if I am making a request which does not belongs to the IP of this network, does my computer knows what are the IPs of this network? So answer is yes. My computer knows what are the IPs of this network. My computer knows because of its own IP address, because of its own subnet mask, because of its gateway. So this computer knows that this IP, let's say I am saying www.google.com. So the moment I say google.com, it goes to the local DNS. Local DNS will provide the IP of the google.com, and now computer checks, does this IP belongs to the same network? Yes or no? If yes, then it looks for the network, same computer in the same network. Otherwise, it goes directly to the gateway. So there are a lot of activity happens internally whenever what all steps happen when I open a website on my computer. See, I just asked one question. What all steps happen when I open a website on my computer? So URL parsing, DNS lookup, establishing connection, HTTP request, server processing, server response, rendering, and display. Read about it. Ask questions. These days, you don't need to search anything. You can just ask questions the way you are asking to yourself or the way you may want to ask to me. Ask the same language question to your AI tool and you will get your answer. That way you can learn. That way you can, as of now, there are many uses of AI, but as of now, this is the best use of AI you can do for yourself to enhance your learning. And if your memory retention power is good enough, then you may not need to read it again in future. Okay? So proxy servers are only intermediary connection between external and internal network, but not anymore. We do not use proxy servers anymore. Firewalls. The most important part of your network for security. 11:40. How are you?
No, good.
I thought you know the class time. I thought you know the class time. Anyway. Okay, firewalls. So what are the firewalls? Important part for the network security. As the name suggests, It's a wall between your external network and internal network. So this is my external network, so this is your firewall. Sometimes you may see a wall-like structure in the graphics and some fire on it. So it is your external network and this is your internal network. And there is a firewall in between. Now, just before the firewall, organizations create something called DMZ. Demilitarized zone. A DMZ where external can come in, internal can only come in if they are allowed to, but this DMZ is not protected by firewall, but some other means, some other security means or some other security measures are installed there to protect it. What do we place in this DMZ? So most of the time some web resources, something which belongs to the company, which belongs to the organization, but supposed to be available for everyone, such as those ATM machines are installed outside the bank, but the actual currency chest where all the currency is located in the bank is not open for everyone. Only the ATM is open for all the people, everyone. Something like that. So firewall is a specialized device or software that selectively filters or blocks traffic between networks.
Could it be like Amazon's website for regular people?
Yeah, that's right. Or Winnetech website, or let's say company's website. Anything could be. It can be. So generally it is web servers. Web servers are placed in DMZ. You are right. Generally, web servers are placed in DMZ, but rest of the things are in the internal network behind the firewall, so you can protect. Now the firewalls are basically allowed. This can be a device. There are special devices installed with Linux operating system and a design software which can be used to protect the network, or it can be a Linux or Windows computer. It's a computer where the connection comes in, goes out, and there the software is installed for the firewall. Even your Windows has a firewall. Do you know that? This computer has a firewall that is called Windows Defender Firewall. This is your firewall. So every computer, every Windows computer has a firewall. Every Linux computer has a firewall. Learn more about it. And do not mess your computer. That's why the virtual machines are. Use virtual machines to do practice with the firewalls. And you can do the actual practice, because one computer is your own computer and one computer is your virtual machine. From your computer to virtual machine, you can do network communication. And then change the firewall setting on your virtual machine and see if you can get into the virtual machine. So that way you can practice in real time and you can still keep your computer safe. And let's say you messed up. Now your virtual machine is no more accessible. Then what? Always keep a copy of virtual machine. If your current virtual machine is no more usable or in working condition because you messed up, delete it. Make another copy of the master. So keep one copy as the master copy and a working copy. And use only working copy all the time. Because your virtual machine is nothing but a file. you can make any number of copies of that file. Okay, so firewall, and more commonly firewall is placed between the private and the public network like this. Network-based firewalls may also see firewall features integrated in routers, switches, and other network. So firewalls are basically everywhere. Your network routers has firewall, switches has firewall, my Windows computer has firewall, your Linux computer has firewall, and we have a separate appliance. We can use a separate appliance as a firewall. So if you search for firewall appliance, so this is your firewall. Specially designed hardware with specially designed software as a firewall. So firewalls are available for homes, firewalls are available for small businesses. This is your home-based firewall. Small case, small application, small footprint firewall, right?
How many of those $90,000 ones do you need for like a place like this?
Sorry?
Sorry, how many of those $90,000 ones would you need for a place like this?
I don't know. See this? How much the cost is? And if you want to know the commercial one, they're really expensive, because you are not only buying this, you are also buying the subscription for the future upgrades. See, it says 93,000, but it is not just the hardware, it is the software. You are actually paying the cost of the software which is there in this file. All these computers are installed with an operating system that is actually contains the cost of the operating system as well. So you are buying a firewall, not only the firewall, but the software which is running inside, which is the software. See guys, hardware has nothing. Hardware is just the electronic component. It is the cost of software which you are using on that hardware.
Just like, I think you have to buy Windows 7 for a computer, right? If you buy a computer.
If you buy a computer and as Windows separately, so you are paying an additional cost. Then you will come to know what is the cost of a Windows operating system. Now just check what is the cost of Windows Server operating system. What is the cost of Windows Server operating system? Right?
Why is it so expensive?
That's how they are making money. Yeah. You can't say that it's expensive. Huh? What, sorry? No, it is not. It all depends on how many networks you want to secure, and if that firewall is capable of securing all the networks together, or you need a separate one. Right? So this is your, see again, now the Windows servers are coming out with number of core licenses. Why they are doing that? Because of virtualization. Because these days we are capable of running these Windows operating systems or any operating system we have. We are now running those operating systems on a virtual machine instead of a physical server. So now the servers, these licenses are available based on how many virtual CPUs or on how many cores you would like to run this operating system. So this operating system license is for 16 core, and that is 729. But again, it's like Tesla. So if you buy Tesla and you want to have a self-driving also, then does the self-driving comes with the default version of Tesla? No, it's an upgrade. So same as with the Windows Server. There are many other services they are selling as a separate license. So go and check with the Microsoft and how much you are getting in 729. So they will give you some basic services in 729. For additional services you have to pay extra. Such as you may want to use Hyper-V, but it includes Hyper-V. and activates one physical server and 2 virtual machines only. Only 2 virtual machines. If you want to get more virtual machines, then pay more. Right? Got it? So this is They have changed their licensing technique since the virtualization started. So, and these firewalls, again, the firewalls are combined. See, firewall is nothing but a software application. So you have to run the firewall on operating system. So even if you have that appliance which I was showing you earlier, this appliance. So this appliance is also running a Linux operating system. On top of it, the software which is developed by this company is running. So you are actually paying the cost of that software and all the future upgrades that company may be doing in this firewall, that you will be that is actually you are paying here. Here it is not showing. I'm not able to see if but definitely these all types of hardwares are having Linux, or they are Linux based basically. These all softwares like your switches, all switches, routers, ADSL routers, wherever you see an operating system, mostly it is Linux based. It does not show that what kind of operating system it is, but I'm pretty sure that it is some Linux operating system. Okay. This is, I don't know why the pictures are not coming. Oh, maybe, let me refresh. Here is the picture. So it is your firewall. This is your external internet or external network, and this is your internal network. The simplest form of a firewall is a packet filtering firewall, which is a network device or application that examines the header. Now this header thing is very important. Header of every packet it receives, which is basically your inbound traffic. So header is like, have you seen any letter coming to your house? Any letter? Do you always read whom this letter belongs to? You read that? Whom this letter belongs to? Does this letter belongs to, let's say this letter, that's my name, I'm using my name here. I read my name, or I read this name. Because I know my family names, so it may be on my name, or it may be any other member in my family. Correct? Or it may be this last name. So if it belongs to my family or my name or any other member of my family, then I will keep it for myself. Otherwise, I will see whom it belongs to and I will try to return it back to. So your firewall is actually reading every header, whether this traffic, inbound traffic, is allowed or not allowed. So it is looking for all the rules. So what you do is, you create various rules. Now you will notice who is the sender. Who's the sender? You will look for the sender. If the sender is legit, or if the sender is important, then you open the letter. If the sender is, you know that it is a marketing mail or some kind of advertising or some offer, a credit card offer, do you open those letters? Rarely. You just throw them in the trash. So same your firewall does. So firewall has a list of rules. Lot of rules are there. So it is going to read the header, which is reading who's the sender, who's the receiver. If the sender or receiver is anywhere in the rule, if your sender or receiver is anywhere mentioned in the rule, then what is the rule? Is it allowed or denied? If it is allowed, then the packet comes through. If it is denied, trash. If it is denied, trash. Same is for the outbound traffic also. So there are two types of rules we have in every firewall: inbound rule and outbound rule. So when you look at your firewall, whether it is a Windows firewall or any other firewall, even if you have your firewall in your computer, so you always see that you have two types of rules in your um, right? So you see that inbound, outbound? I cannot enlarge it anymore. It moves, but it doesn't allow me to move it anymore. It's not responding the way it should. Yeah. So it is basically so you have inbound rules, these are inbound rules, and these are outbound rules. Right? If you want to create a new rule, then you can say new rule. And rule type. What is rule type? Program, port, predefined, custom. If it is a port, then if it is a TCP port or a UDP port. Next. Is it a TCP port or a UDP port? All remote port or a specific remote port? So I say all remote ports. Next. Allow connection if it is secure, block the connection. Block means deny all. Allow the connection, allow everyone. Allow only if it is secure. So this way you can create your which computer, authorized computers, exceptions. Who's authorized? So you need to add your allow only connections to these computers. Add. So you can add the name of the computers or the IP addresses of the computers. That way you can create your own firewall rule. And again, all these are available in the video form on internet. How to configure Windows firewall video tutorial on YouTube. You can just watch it and do it, but on virtual machine. Though you can create it on your own system, but how will you test? So in order to test, virtual machine is the best appliance. So learn more about these firewalls here. So in firewalls, what it does. Next generation firewall, unified threat management on firewalls. So optionally, firewall can also do the following things like encryption, user authentication, centralized management. Centralized management means the firewall for all the computers can be managed by someone sitting at the IT service department in the G building. In the G building, IT service team sits and they can manage centrally, they can control the firewall of all the computers. Easy rule establishment, logging and all that. So you can do this. This is a very fun thing. If you get interest in all of this, then I must tell you, this is all fun thing. You will love doing it again and again and again. You will love playing with your home computers, or you may create problem with your for your family members if you get hold of your ADSL router. You can actually create a firewall in your ADSL router also. How to configure ADSL router firewall? YouTube video. How to set up router firewall? You say that no one should be able to get into YouTube or Facebook or Instagram in your home. You can block it. No one will be able to use it anymore until the firewall is working. The rule is active until the rule is active. Okay, so those kind of fun things you can do, or you can mess around. You can show them that you are learning something. Okay, so troubleshooting the firewalls. You can change the existing firewalls, or you can create your own firewalls and rules. See, rules can be added or deleted anytime. Okay, so that's not a problem. But make sure that if you are doing something, then you know how to remove it. Okay, so if you see, what was the series? There was a series, how to do murder. Learn how to do murder. So if you are doing a murder, then you must know how to remove all your tracks, right? So this is something like that. If you are adding a firewall rule, then you must know how to get rid of it. Cloud security. Now, cloud security is a very vast thing actually. Every cloud platform has their own firewall system as well. See, in your cloud, if you remember last week, I think 2-3 weeks ago, we talked about cloud little bit. So in your cloud, you have your own VPC. What is VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. So virtual private cloud is like an entire infrastructure of network, which can include switches, routers, firewalls, and everything. All the networking components or equipment also can be the part of this VPC. There can be servers, there can be virtual machines, there can be databases, there can be email server. You can actually have everything. 1 minute, please. Hello? Alright. So you can actually have everything in your virtual private cloud. And because it is a cloud, it is your own cloud, so you need a firewall so that you can control the incoming and outgoing traffic in your own network. So you will also get to know about the virtual or the cloud security technologies, and pretty much everything is same. The only difference is, instead of on the physical devices, everything is running on virtual environment. Okay, everything else will remain same. The rule, the way you create the rule, the way you manage the rule are going to be the same. Internet connectivity issues. So when you're in, you know what needs to be done if there is an internet connectivity issue. Interface problems. So you can run few commands on your networking devices to know if there are some interface related issues, or if there is any IP related issues, or if there is any DHCP, DNS. So all those commands are there. Now, at least one form of internet connection you will always have. Like if your home internet is not working, then your phone internet must be working at that time. Otherwise, you should always have some offline instructions available with you all the time, so that in case you are not connected to any form of internet, then how will you troubleshoot? How will you? Now, in that case, I would say that if, let's say, somebody cut the cable, transatlantic cable, somebody cut the transatlantic cable in the sea, and we all are out of internet someday, right? For example, during this Iran conflict, Iran was threatening to cut the internet cables, undersea internet cables. So some of the network traffics would be disrupted, not everything, because we may be disconnected from the eastern part of the world, but not completely disconnected, because some services are still there which are running out of United States or some part of Europe or South American countries. Or maybe we may be connected through the Pacific lines. Okay, so, and many things you will learn in future. These are just the introduction to you guys. Some routing issues. So obviously you may know some commands, you will learn some commands which you can use to know if the router is perfectly working fine, or if you have any issue with the route. Some of the commands I am telling you, you cannot use in the corporate network. You can only test these commands in your home network or on your home computer when you are connected to the home network. You can also see this type of routing table in your home router. I'm telling you, if you connect to your home router, and I must say that every one of you must connect to your home router at least once, because that will open a different world altogether for you. Because you right now we only knows what Windows operating system is, or what how it looks like. We don't know anything else. But if you connect it to your home router once, I'm telling you, you will get to know more about it. All right, that's all for today's lesson, and we will meet next week.